24 in 60.
It's time to revisit a classic that is now 25 years old, but classic nonetheless. We're digging into the hit fuck show 24. This is the 24 in 60 plus, an ultra-quick and humorous review of the worst days of Jack Bauer's life. This time, it's season 1, hour 1, 12 a.m. to 1 a.m. on the day of the California presidential primary. Let's get to it. Tall buildings in Kuala Lumpur. Ooh, pretty. And filled with danger. The bustling cityscape is the centerpiece for erupting comic book-like panels that reveal a classic cast and a man dealing with a sat phone. It's Victor Rovner. He's requesting permission for a new transmission. He's begun sending details to... Someone's knocking on the door. Who could that be? We don't know. Over in Los Angeles, California... It's Walsh, one of the head honchos from CTU, the counter-terrorist unit. He collects the transmission and now knows that there will be an attempt made on the life of Senator David Palmer, who is the first black man running for president. Next, we meet David Palmer, who is discussing being bold with his staff. Snap back to another part of LA. Oh, hey, look, it's Jack Bauer. We're inside his house, and he's having a short discussion with his daughter, Kim. The two of them are having a discussion about Jack's recently estranged wife, Terry, who's sitting in the other room. Kim apparently shovels off to bed, thanking Daddy Jack for moving back in the house. Oh, isn't that nice? So cute. Terry and Jack sit together and have a short banter about Kim's recent interaction and decide it's time to lay down the law with her. Make sure that there's respect inside the household. The two of them walk up to her room to make sure things are set straight and... Kim is gone! She's missing! Where'd she go? We don't know. But we will before this episode of the Hit Fuck Show 24 is done. Woohoo! It's Nina from CTU. Again, that's the counter-terrorist unit. She's telling Jack that Walsh has news and is on his way. Wow. Jack tells Terry that he'll be back within the hour. No, he won't. And Jack heads off to work at CTU. Kim has flown the coop and is now driving around with her girlfriend, Janet, who is prepared for them to hook up on a date with real men, not boys. It's put your makeup on while you're driving time, and the night's about to get hot. Ultra hot. It's time to meet the CTU staff. Look, it's Nina Myers, Jamie Farrell, and Tony Almeida. The gang's all here and ready for action. Jack arrives at CTU. Walsh is about to arrive. Jack wants a complete listing of Senator Palmer's staff. And while there's some initial bluster, Tony Almeida is on it. Across town, the boys and girls arrive at a furniture store. Okay. Janet takes off with her man number 1, Dan. And Kim meets main man number 2, Rick. It's time to make the furniture store loud and proud. Hard rock, smoke, and wild living begins here. Yeah! Yeehaw! Back at CTU, Jack welcomes Walsh, who shares that David Palmer's life has been threatened by an on-the-way overseas shooter and asks for a cross-reference in all terrorist databases. It needs to be initiated right now. But wait, there's more. Walsh also wants to know how Jack's been doing at home. Jack lets him know that they're trying, but wait, there's even more. Not only is there going to be an attempt on David Palmer's life, there's also a mole inside of CTU. And they're likely in on the hit on Senator David Palmer. We also find out that Jack has made a career now of calling out the bad guys inside the agency. And Walsh knows that Jack is the only man that he can trust. Jack promises that he'll look into it. Oh, and by the way, George Mason is also going to arrive shortly. Walsh confirms that Jack should not trust anyone, not even his own people. Whoa. Way up high, aboard an airplane, a man whose name is Martin. He's a photographer. Is wondering when the flight will be landing. And guess what? It's just under an hour. Imagine that. One of Senator Palmer's entourage takes a phone call. It's from the plane. It's Martin, the photographer. He confirms that David Palmer will be at the breakfast in the morning. A woman sitting next to Martin, her name is Mandy, overhears the phone conversation and begins to work her feminine wiles to find out more information about Senator Palmer and the future plans. That's strange. Why is she doing that? We don't know, but we will, because there will be more soon. Bogus. Hey, guess what? It's Terry. She's telling Jack that she found marijuana in Kim's room. Just when you thought shit wasn't stacking high enough for Jack, up the stack goes. Across town, inside the furniture store, Kim's having a chat with Rick and confirms that her dad is dead? Huh? Why'd she say that? Over at CTU, George Mason arrives to Jack's office and confirms that the shooter will be arriving shortly on a plane. He also gives more Jack intel about the shoot. Jack wants to know who the source of the information is, but Mason won't share. Jack asks him again to reveal the source and shenanigans. Mason isn't playing nice, so it's time for Jack to play. Woohoo! Jack heads down to the inventory closet to retrieve a tranquilizer gun, the good old trank gun, and heads back to his office. Mason pretends to finish up a fake phone call and eventually shares with Jack that he can't reveal the source, which isn't gonna work. Jack shoots Mason with the trank gun. Nina enters the room as Mason slumps to the floor and wonders what the hell is going on. You see, Jack shares that Mason was apparently at the center of even more CTU embezzlement shenanigans previously, and he intends to use that information as blackmail as a way to get the source's name. That means that Nina's got less than a half an hour before Mason wakes up to find the dirt, and she's on it. Terry's phone rings again. It's Alan York, the father of Janet York. You know, Kim's driving, drunken, whoring friend, who finds that his daughter has apparently made an appointment inside of her notebook for Kim and her to go out tonight. Over at CTU, Nina's hit a wall, and it's time to solicit Tony Almeida's help. Initially, Tony Almeida plays coy, but eventually he helps them and gets the intel that Jack is looking for. Jack saunters over to Jamie's desk and wants all the passwords associated with a single phone number. Okay, no problem. Not too cool, but in the land of the Hit Fox Show 24, super cool and expedient. In just seconds, Jamie's affirmed her ability to collect information instantaneously and has gotten Kim's password to her computer. Alrighty then. Speaking of Kim, she and Rick are inside the furniture store looking for Jan and her main man, Dan, who are apparently carving a significant divot in the display bed inside the furniture store. Back way up high on the airplane, Mandy continues to woo the man who will soon be taking photos of David Palmer later this morning. And it's time for 2 new members of the Mile High Club. Back at the Palmer hotel room, Maureen Kingsley, from the network, has an urgent overnight message to a new piece of, quote, information. David Palmer instantly denies the allegation she makes and hangs up on her. It's media nonsense and apparently completely unimportant. Right. Jack and Nina have a conversation about compromise, and it's time to stop compromising. The line's drawn here. No further.
Jack will not compromise this time.
Terry finds out where Kim went and invites Alan York to go there with her. The two of them are on their way, and speaking of coming, Janet and her boyfriend, main man Dan, and Kim and Rick discover that Kim's gotta go home because of the message that Terry sent. All right. What a devoted daughter. They all jump aboard the love wagon, where Kim discovers that Janet's been slipped more than a sausage. She also has apparently been given a Mickey, and she is out of it. Over at CTU, Tony Almeida's got the detail that Jack needs and sends it over to Jack's screen. Jack smacks Mason on the cheeks to wake him up and asks again, who is the source? Mason doesn't reveal anything. Jack then lays down the facts about the $200,000 that's missing. The money that Mason is the centerpiece of. He threatens to send the information to CTU head honcho Chappelle. Mason's boss, unless he's told who the source is. After being given a 5-second deadline, Mason quietly shares the details in a typed message on Jack's keyboard. Jack has the information. Back on the plane, Mandy begins asking questions of a stewardess and then puts the stewardess to sleep with a syringe to the neck and nabs the now sleeping photographer's identification badge. She pulls out a bag of goodies from the luggage rack and begins lining the airplane door with det cord. She also procures a bomb from a fire extinguisher and puts it on the fuselage. She then begins putting on her evacuation gear. In 15 seconds, the det cord blows. Then another 5 seconds later, boom! The plane blows above the Mojave Desert, showering the now flying Mandy with orange glow. It's horrific, it's off-screen, and makes the imagination jump. Terry calls Jack again and tells him that Alan York and she are headed to the valley. They're on the hunt for Kim, and the phone breaks up. Of course it does. Tony Almeida shares with Jack that a bomb, apparently on board a plane, has gone off over the Mojave Desert and that the plane has crashed. Back in the love wagon, supposedly taking Kim home, Kim's turn's been missed. They also missed the parents at an intersection, and the night is just getting started, as is this series. And the boop, beep, boop, beep continues. You've just listened to another episode of the 24 in 60, an ultra-quick and humorous review of each episode of the Hit Fox Show 24. This is a companion podcast of the ongoing episode reviews via the 24 podcast. In that podcast, you experience production designer Joseph Hodges and OG podcaster Mike Wilkerson as they detail the worst days of Jack Bauer's life.
It's all happening in real time.
It's happening now, and it's all available at 24podcast.com. Come and watch and listen at 24podcast.com. Thanks for watching and listening, and we'll see you next time.